The key word is scared. What gold is signaling here.
In Greenland, hundreds took to the streets in defiance of Donald Trump's desire to take control of the island.
The US Justice Department has opened a criminal investigation into the Federal Reserve and its chairman, Jerome Powell.
President Trump is hitting 8 European countries with a 10% tariff over their opposition to the US acquiring Greenland.
So we're going to discuss how these great American companies can help rapidly rebuild Venezuela's dilapidated oil industry.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people. Thank you.
They say history moves slowly, until it happens all at once. In the second week of January 2026, the financial world didn't just stumble. It faced a triple heart attack. 3 stories broke in a single week. First, gold didn't just rise. It smashed through $4,600 an ounce. Analysts are now screaming about $5,000. That's not a rally. That's a panic. Second, the US declared an economic war on its own allies, slapping tariffs on 8 European nations in a bizarre bid to buy Greenland. NATO unity? Gone. And third, Iran threatened US bases. While back in Washington, the unthinkable happened. Threats to indict the chair of the Federal Reserve. Individually, these are crises. Together, they are the signal of a new era.
We are witnessing the safe haven rush.
But here's the scary part. It's not just you and me buying gold. The biggest buyers are the ones running the world, and they know something you don't. Let's look at the data. For the last 4 years, central banks have been hoarding gold like never before. Just look at China. In 2025 alone, the People's Bank of China added nearly 30 metric tons to its reserves. Their stockpile jumped from $191 billion to a staggering $319 billion. Deutsche Bank calls this a durable shift. That is banker speak for, we don't trust American debt anymore. According to The Guardian, the share of gold in central bank reserves has doubled in the last decade. Why? Because economists argue the era of Pax Americana, global peace under the dollar, is over. We are now in the era of global discord. But here is the twist that nobody is talking about. They aren't just buying gold. They are bringing it home. It's called repatriation. After watching Western sanctions freeze Russian assets, countries like Serbia, India, Hungary, and Turkey decided that safe doesn't mean a vault in London or New York anymore. Safe means in your own basement. The dollar's share of global reserves has dropped from 66% to 57% in 10 years. When a country repatriates gold, it sends a chilling message.
We do not trust you to hold our money.
It's not just about value anymore. It's about sovereignty. So central banks are hedging against the dollar. But what about the rest of the market? In mid-January, gold hit an all-time high of $4,641. Why? Because politics has officially infected the money supply. In just a few days, we saw orders to buy $200 billion in mortgage securities, attempts to control oil giants in Venezuela, and caps on credit card rates. But the nail in the coffin was the threat to indict Jerome Powell. Investors see this and think one thing: the Federal Reserve is no longer independent. If politics controls the money printer, the dollar is vulnerable. As Alex Ebkarian from Allegiance Gold put it,
all roads are leading to gold.
If you think this is just temporary noise, listen to what the World Economic Forum found. In their latest global risks survey, over 1,300 experts agreed on a terrifying new reality. For the first time, economic confrontation is ranked as a higher risk than armed conflict. Think about that. The experts are more afraid of tariffs, sanctions, and trade wars than they are of missiles. They call it geoeconomic confrontation. This is where trade tools become weapons. Even with the war in Ukraine, actual state-based conflict ranked second. The number one fear? Trade wars that trigger systemic collapse. When economics becomes a weapon, your currency is in the line of fire. So, where does this leave us? We are looking at 4 scenarios. Scenario 1, the trade war escalation. If the US tariffs stick and Europe retaliates, the euro falls, and gold likely breaches $5,000. Tangible assets become the only life raft. Scenario 2, supply shocks. Tensions in the Middle East or Venezuela spike oil prices. This triggers inflation again, sending not just gold, but silver and platinum into the stratosphere. Scenario 3, the end of independence. If the Fed loses its autonomy, faith in the dollar evaporates. This accelerates the shift to real assets faster than any war could. Scenario 4, total economic weaponization. Export controls on rare earths, financial sanctions, global supply chains break. In this chaos, capital flees to the only thing with no counterparty risk: bullion. The rush into gold isn't a fad. It's a symptom. Central banks are moving their money. Nations are bringing their gold home. And the World Economic Forum is warning that our wallets are the new battlefield. We might not see World War III tomorrow, but a war on wealth? That's already started. The question isn't whether gold will go up or down next week. The question is, if the system cracks, is your portfolio resilient enough to handle it? If you want to stay ahead of these macro shifts, make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you in the next one.